LinkedIn is a powerful tool for business owners and professionals, but most people don't know how to use it to generate leads. I'm about to show you how to get started without spending a dime. You might be wondering how people are generating leads on LinkedIn without spending any money. It's actually pretty simple, and I'm gonna break it down for you right now, step by step. So here we go. Step one, choose a target market. Now, that might seem obvious, but a lot of people end up doing what I call spray and pray, which means they put content out that is supposed to serve everyone, which is really kind of impossible. My buddy David Carruthers talks about it all the time. Niche down, niche down, niche down. You've got to find a target market with fewer people in it. Now, I know you might be worried because it's fewer people. Quite candidly, it's a whole lot easier to talk to one group of people than it is a whole lot of various groups of people. There's a couple of things that you're going to have an advantage when you choose this method. Number one, you will start to understand the language that your target market speaks. And I'm not talking about English, Spanish, whatever. I'm talking about the words that they use to describe the problems that they have. Because once you can repeat back to them some of that same language, they get this feeling of,
oh my gosh, they're in my head.
Because you know what? You're using the same language that they're using to describe the challenges they're having. And the name of the game for creating content on LinkedIn is to be able to solve people's problems. Because if you are the person who consistently helps solve their problems, you will be the person that they remember when they have an ultimate problem that they say,
you know what? I need their product or service.
So you need to choose a target market that you can identify with. Choosing that target market will also help you really understand the pain points that they have. If you listen well, don't go at it right away trying to comment and engage people, but just listen. You'll understand really quickly who these people are and what the pain points are that you can help them solve. Step number two, create a content plan. Now, if you don't know what I mean by a content plan or content creation, if you're not already on YouTube watching this, go to YouTube and watch the video that I made called What is Content Creation? Content creation, the base level is simply creating anything on an online platform, mostly online, that is going to help solve a problem. So it could be a video, could be a blog, could be a whole host of things, right? So start with this. Brainstorm a list of common questions, because when you're developing a content plan, you need to have a whole list of things that you can cover over the course of time. If you're going to take a trip from Atlanta to Chicago, you might want to plan that trip out with some apps on a phone. It's no different when you're trying to create a content plan, a way of solving problems for people. I encourage you to do as an exercise for the next couple of weeks, just start a Google spreadsheet or an Excel spreadsheet, something like that, and organize all of the questions that you hear over the next couple of weeks in that spreadsheet. So every time you're on the phone, every time you get a text message, every time you get an email with someone asking you a question related to the product or service that you have to offer, write that question down and organize it in that list. You'll be surprised because you'll probably start to see patterns, and you'll probably start to have some great ideas of the type of content that you can create. All right, step number three, create content consistently. I cannot tell you how bad I used to be at this. Finally starting to, in this past year, be a whole lot better. And if you are the one who is creating content consistently, you will be the person that people go to when they have the need for whatever it is that you and or your product have to solve problems for people. So what kind of content? Again, I talked about videos, blog posts, graphics. You can go live on LinkedIn. Here's a pro tip for all the things, whatever it is, if it's video or blogs. I'm actually pretty good at writing. I don't mind doing that. I like being on camera, and I'm good at video editing, but oh my gosh, does it take a lot of time. So I recently outsourced that. The person that's editing my videos is actually editing this video. So Sia, I gotta give you a mad shout out. I found her on FIVERR. You can use a company like FIVERR, Upwork. I am an affiliate for FIVERR, so The pro tip for you would be to outsource that. If you click on the link in the description of this video, I do earn a small commission for that. And that helps me create more great content like this to help you out. You're not obligated to click that. Just want to let you know about that. So outsource whatever it is that you're either not good at or don't want to spend the time doing. Step number 4, send them to a lead magnet. Now, what do I mean by a lead magnet? If you're creating content and you want to get people into your world, something that you can control, like an email list that you can then further communicate with them, you need to send people to something that solves a pain point for them, something that adds value, and something that's going to be a really quick win for them. So this may come in the form of a cheat sheet or a checklist or a guide or a short video course or maybe even a challenge, something that will give people a quick win. I'll give you an example. I also have a landscape photography company online, SchubertPhotography.com, where I help people solve the problem of becoming a better landscape photographer, okay? And I have lots of different lead magnets. One of the most popular is a lead magnet that is a guide for camera settings for landscape photography. So people are constantly asking me the question,
what camera settings are best to use for this type of situation or that type of situation?
I kept getting that question over and over. So what did I do? I put it in my spreadsheet, and by golly, I created a lead magnet to solve the problem. So I have several different shooting situations for landscape photography, and I cover in a very beautifully laid out with photos and examples of how to dial in the appropriate settings for that particular shooting situation. So that is what a lead magnet is. Go create one. All right. Step number 5, share your content and lead magnet regularly. It's all about being consistent. And if you are the person who is consistently showing up in someone's LinkedIn feed, you will be the one that they remember and come to when they need that problem solved. So create a content posting schedule. Now, this is different from a plan. This is the schedule. Create that schedule and stick to it. Now, there's some things that can help you keep up with this. Obviously, you could use Outlook Calendar or Google Calendar or whatever it is, but there's plenty of low cost or even free social media tools that you can use to schedule your content. Buffer, I've used Hootsuite in the past. There's a ton of different ones out there. I'm not going to cover a particular one here. Maybe I'll make some videos on that soon if that's a problem that people are having. But I would encourage you to use a social media scheduler so that you're not sweating in the middle of the night going,
oh my gosh, when am I going to post this or what am I going to post?
Batch create your content. Create a couple of videos at a time or write a couple of blog posts in one sitting. And then schedule those out over time, right? Here's a pro tip. Ask your audience to chime in. What do I mean by that? Recently on LinkedIn, I created a poll, which is a fantastic thing to do to get feedback from your audience. This is another way to listen to what their problems are. In the poll, I asked them, hey, what are you struggling most with when it comes to hiring? Is it finding good qualified people to hire? Or is it keeping them throughout the interview process and not losing them to your competition? The feedback I got was absolutely phenomenal and is going to help me create better content and lead magnets and all kinds of things to help solve people's problems. But remember, the name of the game is being consistent. What is next in this whole game? Well, I would encourage you to, if you're not already there on YouTube, watch the video I made on YouTube called How to Make Your LinkedIn Post Go Viral. This is a real life example, step by step, what I think made a post go viral recently to the tune of about 5 million views, several thousand likes and comments, and I gained about 5,000 followers in the course of only 72 hours from this one post. So go watch that video. Also, I would encourage you to watch a video I made, a playlist I made called Content Marketing Playlist, which has a whole bunch of videos that cover content just like this. Finally, download a free guide that I've put together for you called 5 Ways to Provide Value Before Asking for Anything in Return. You can get that at agentsgrowthacademy.com/value. And it's exactly the kind of thing that we're talking about creating when it comes to content creation for LinkedIn. Until next time, folks, grow big or go home.